Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live stream with Mint Markets. At the very beginning, let me remind you again that I'm giving you my personal opinion about the market. I'm doing, if I find trades, I'm doing live executions on a demo account, but please do not take anything I do or say as investment or trading advice. Do not risk real money. You could potentially lose money. Yeah, we have had we had FOMC yesterday, and we saw a huge up day yesterday, and even though with the FOMC news we saw a continuation higher so far. And let me just check real quick if we are in fact live so that I know that I'm not talking unnecessarily. And it looks good so far. And we will see if we find some nice trades during this session, as we found yesterday as well, for example. And let me check out the chat function as well real quick. So we have news in exactly 1 minute. Let us look at the calendar. We have 10 a.m. ISM manufacturing PMI. So 1 minute, we will see what happens. We have just taken out this 15-minute high just before. So let's see if we get some lower prices. We had already had a market structure shift here on the 1 minute. So that's an indication for lower prices, at least intraday. However, today I want to remind you and also explain to you that we have to be very careful, because we have non-farm payroll tomorrow, and non-farm payroll is always, so the day before non-farm payroll, it's always tricky. Usually price action is not very clean, and we can see we had a huge up day yesterday. So far we also are still up in a day, but we have to see if that wants to continue. We have taken out buy side liquidity here, and we have a market structure shift here now on the 3 minute, on the 2 minute, on the 1 minute. So market, after market open, market went up. So a lot of liquidity is here from the market open. So let's see if price want to go lower and attack the sell side liquidity maybe here. That's what I'm looking for right now. Of course, on the higher time frame, we had a market structure shift higher, and we have a fair value gap here, so we have to see if we don't get a bullish reaction here. I'm going to take a short here now, right away. My stop will be above here. And nice, stopped out right away. Great. That's a good start into the session here. And we just booked a loss here. So my idea was enter on this fair value gap here. After the market structure shift here and looking for the sell side liquidity here. And that's why you probably should not trade on Thursday before non-farm payroll Friday. Quick trade, quick loss. Maybe it just came back to this fair value gap and trades lower so far, so maybe bad stop placement from my side. Looks like it. Now it expands lower. Let's see if we can get the liquidity here. And it looks like I got a shitty stop placement so far. Let's try out the chat function. Seems to work. Yesterday I met Abdul in my live stream from Pakistan. If you're here, Abdul, let me know. Would be cool to know if you're watching again today. And yeah, great. Narrative still unfolds. And we go right in the direction of my target that I wanted to see and expected. That is great to see. I would have preferred to stay in the trade without the stop out, though. And looks like we're going lower since. Man, that's a pity. Man, that's a pity. Sold here and got stopped out right away. And after just for a couple of handles and just right to my target. That is very disappointing. What a joke, honestly. Honestly, what a joke. Alright, let's remove that. Would have made nice money. Would have, could have, should have. Made have nice money if that would hit our target, 16 handles. But it did not. It did, but it stopped me out first. So, what do we learn out of this? Probably don't trade Thursday ahead of non-farm payroll Friday. At least the tape reading bias was right again, which is nice to see. We have taken out this 15-minute low and see a reaction of that so far. Yeah. My mistake probably was I didn't consider this fair value gap here. And even worse, I didn't consider the fair value gap here. Just see it now. I forgot about the fair value gap here, didn't see it. Entered on that one, but it went to the second one, which is usually permissible. It's okay if it goes to that one. And the stop would have needed to be above here. So I guess that was my technical error here. Yeah, good to see in hindsight. Another fair value gap just here. And we expand lower. Yeah, I can see it expand lower from here. Yeah, man. Market structure shift here, retrade, first fair value gap, second fair value gap. That was my mistake. I forgot about the second fair value gap here, and it went higher to this one, and the stop needed to be at 558, 5599 to be safe here. So that was basically the mistake. Happens sometimes. And now after retrade, after going into this fair value gap, we see the market expand lower, and I can see it go lower still from here. Have not a specific target in mind, but we have liquidity. We have taken out the liquidity here, and the next sell side liquidity, I have a market structure shift here, and the next liquidity is here 5558. So that's something I could potentially see, what we could potentially see. Sell side liquidity here, in my opinion. Let me check what the Nasdaq is doing real quick. also very choppy, classic non-farm payroll. Nasdaq did not make a higher high, so did not make a higher high as S&P did it. S&P took out its morning low. Nasdaq failed, so we have a SMT divergence here. As you can see, we have a divergence here and lower lows here. So that's an indication that we could see lower prices here, and that's an indication that that was a short here in the S&P earlier here, and that was another indication why my short idea was high probability. Unfortunately, bad executed from my part so far. And we have equal lows here, so I think that's it. On Nasdaq we can see a draw to 19505 as well. Let me put that away. And I think also we have the chance to go lower in the S&P as well, in my opinion. Question is if I get the high probability low risk entry to take another trade here or not. We have a fair value gap here. We have the 1 minute fair value gap here, which is also the discount of the 2 minute. We have a 3 minute fair value gap here, a very small one. So did not give us an entry so far here. And it looks like we're going lower. If it will give me a low risk, high probability entry for a short, I will take it. Oh, damn it. Just runs away. Just runs away. Man, that's frustrating, I'm telling you. I would be riding this short lower all the way. And I'm sitting here with a stop out watching. That is stupid. And I will take a short here. Within this order block here. And I will put the stop above here, mean threshold. since we made a new low here, I'm taking 3 positions off because I want to first of all uh, make back from a loss. So that's my primary goal. So we made something back of the loss, and I want to keep the risk low on that one. And I will let the rest ride lower, and I will put my target to here. I think that's reasonable. It's under the body's low of this candle here. And yeah, I think the stop is okay. So we made just another low here. And I want to see it touch the old weekly gap here. So I'll put the trade to break even now, since we made another low here. It's also the high, premium high of the weekly gap here. And yeah, the trade is already risk-free here. And I will take some off once we touch the blue line here. So I'm taking another partial off here. And I will let the rest run. My goal is just to mitigate the loss we just had initially. I'm not trying to making big profits off here now. And so far we mitigated some of it. Mitigated amount like almost like 900 bucks, and the rest I will leave for the potential target. So target again, the bodies of this candle here. And we have, let me show you this, the blue lines is the previous weekly opening gap. So that was the first line, was my first target, and I think we will see some expansion lower, targeting the sell side liquidity here, and I have a low hanging fruit target here, so I'm taking the bodies here as a target, basically not the wicks, to secure that I'm getting filled on my exit. I can leave the rest. I don't have to have every handle of the trade. And if my target gets hit, I will be up on the day at least, which is nice. And we can see it running from here, another low, which is good. Another low, and our target, our take profit is likely being hit very soon. I'll put nice, very nice one. So we just got our trade target hit. Nice. So, and as expected, we got the sell side liquidity taken here. So that was forecasted by me as well. So we got that one hit, and we got our second target hit, our sell side liquidity here. So that's also nice. So right calls, two right calls on the analysis. We got one short, which would be definitely the better one. We got stopped out on the first short here, unfortunately, just by a couple of ticks. Couldn't get the whole run down here, but we entered on this order block here and got at least the second trade with a profit, and I fulfilled my target. So the initial loss we had with the stop out was mitigated right away, which is nice. Could have been better, obviously. If I would not have been stopped out in the second, we would be huge in profit today. But that's trading life. So it's good that we're back to even and we mitigated our first loss and even though are in little profit here. And maybe if someone is watching, let me know in the chat. Would be cool. Would be really cool to get some acknowledgement that someone is watching actually the stream. And also, if you like what I'm doing, if you like the streams, please be so kind and oh, it's loading. That's not what I intended. Please be so kind and hit the like button of the video if you do so, and subscribe the channel. That would be really motivation to continue doing that, the live streams. And also don't forget to follow us on Twitter if you have, where I show the links, where I post the links and also give you some news and updates. So yeah. Already early in the session, but or not so early, it's like half an hour in the session. And we already had 2 trade executions here. I'll remove them here now because they're a little bit distracting. And we had 2 targets hit already, which is nice. We had our first target here after the low of the New York Open and of the morning session, both targets being hit. And now that we are break even again, of course, I will see if I can find another trade to end this day more in profit. We are already up. We were 99,875 and now we are 1,062, so we're about $200 up on the day, which is, yeah, not really worth mentioning. Let's see if we can find another trade. However, my first 2 targets have been hit. So we have to wait and see if another setup forms. I mean, if you continue with weakness on the downside, of course, we have the next liquidity rest, sell side liquidity rests here, 5546. But I would like to have some more information about it. We just took out this low, so let's see if we see a retracement here, or a reversal, or if we see a continuation. So far, we see some reaction of that low here, which is normal and expected. Kind of. Gun to my head, I think the more likely scenario is for now the downside. I mean, look at the last price swing. We are in a huge premium if we measure that whole price swing. So we could go lower from here, I think. But we have to wait and see a little bit. What price is doing, if we get any confirmation after this low has been taken out. So what can happen? We can see some consolidation, we can see a follow through, or we can have a potential reversal setup after this low has been taken out. So let's see what we get from here. So far it looks weak. This here again, so the liquidity is done, so we can take that off the chart. These fair value gaps are also not going to be traded for a setup now, so I take these fair value gaps off the chart. So far it looks weak. We had these blue lines, the two blue lines are the weekly opening gaps here, and we reached the bottom, traded to like the upper quarter, and are expanding lower. So initially we see weakness, so it looks like we follow through on that move. So far we had a market structure shift here, now a run on liquidity here, and now let's see if the liquidity here at 5545 is a potential next target here. So far our first two targets have been in fact hit, and now we need some more information on what price wants to do. We can just stay weak here and go lower from here. That's an option. We're probably seeing a fair value gap forming here, so that could be, as long as this market structure here, low, high, low, remains intact, that's bearish to me. And we could see a run lower from here. We just have formed another fair value gap here, and an order block here. So I think this is the same height, high 5554.5 and high 55, yeah, same high. So not really a fair value gap entry here. So not really a tradable setup. Someone who wants to short here could wait for a trade into this fair value gap and short here. However, we are already in a deep discount, and it looks like it's in a hurry and wants to attack sell side liquidity here, and we have almost reached our sell side here. liquidity. And then initially, then we have it here as well. So, but let's stick to this one first. So far it looks like it's in a hurry. And the sell side liquidity was hit. So the third target we had today already hit. We had the right bias, the right idea, and our targets keep getting hit here. So since we got that, next target in my opinion here. Here we have an old fair value gap, so we have to see what the reaction of this fair value gap here. We can see a reaction of this fair value gap possible. Let's see. Also, we have touched the daily gap here, a real gap here, as you can see. And we see a reaction of that. We also have actually already a market structure shift on the hourly. High, low, higher, high. We broke through really aggressively. So we actually have a 1 hour market structure shift already. That could mean lower prices today or eventually. And if we measure the price swing from here to here, the 50% level is here. So 55117 is absolutely possible as a downside target in my opinion. Looks weak at the moment and we have some confirmation here. And what I'm looking at is if we maybe want to get a retracement, like maybe want to get a retracement into somewhere here. I mean, we have a market structure shift here, high, low, high. For another sustained price run lower, so maybe that's something I'm playing with. So actually, if I'm looking at the hourly chart, that could be a market maker sell model here. And as I already said, 517 looks possible. And since we have market structure broken here on the 1 minute, we could see lower prices from here. And the question will be, we have already ran the buy side liquidity. If we get maybe after this 15-minute market structure shift here, high, low, high, maybe we get a chance to enter somewhere, we get a retracement into somewhere here after we hit that daily fair value gap here. Maybe we get the retracement and another chance for a short. Maybe not. I'm looking like, let me put that away. We have a fair value gap here and here, so but that's a little bit a lot for a retracement in my opinion. So yeah, if you're watching the stream, let me know in the chat, would be cool to get in touch. And also hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, would be really cool. would be real motivation to continue. So far, we don't have a market structure shift to the upside and no real tradable retracement. And we have just taken out our fourth target here. We have taken out the sell side liquidity here. And it looks like price is really pretty much in a hurry. So far. So we have taken out sell side here, sell side here, sell side here. It would be cool to get some kind of a retracement, some market structure shift on the short term to the upside, and then maybe another run lower. That would be great. That's kind of the scenario I would like to play. Um, let's see if we get something like that. It would be amazing to get a retracement higher into the fair value gap here or here for another short opportunity, or just a short-term market structure shift for a retracement up. That's something I would try to trade if I'd get that. What's my computer doing right now? So let's see if we just drop from here, and if we just stay very weak. So far the structure on the 1 minute is very weak. We have just price dropping lower, nothing, no market structure shift, so we might just gradually go lower and lower and lower. If that happens, we have no chance, in my opinion, for a low risk, high probability trade entry. If oh no, if we get a reaction from here and price retraces higher, we would get a potential short entry here again, or if we see a market structure shift here on a lower time frame, maybe we could also take a scalp up into the premium area. But as long as the market structure stays weak like this, we cannot do anything because we don't want to short in a discount here. So we need to wait. In like at 10:50 New York time. My time is set on UTC -4, so New York time. We have the macro trading window, so maybe we get something here. But I would not want to short here. I think we have the potential opportunity to see lower prices still on the day. But I don't want to short here. I would like to short in a premium after retracement, or maybe trade a short-term reversal into a premium on the lower time frame if we get that set up. But maybe we need to be patient and wait till another 7 minutes until the macro window opens. So far, all our 3 targets have been reached. Here, here, and here has been reached as well. And we had one stupid stop out, unfortunately, which still annoys me a little bit, to be honest, because it would be perfect, it would have been perfect panned out here, and I just did not see this small little fair value gap where I traded in and put my stop right above this high. So we would have made a much higher profit if we would not have had this stop out before. And the second trade was nice, was right from the order block here, and traded down to our target here, which was the old weekly opening gap. That's trading one stop, one win, all targets bias correct, all targets hit, and still just a little bit money banked so far. But yesterday I had a guy chatting with me, Abdul from Pakistan, and he told me $200 make a living in Pakistan a month. So with the 200 bucks today, we could potentially, if they were real, we could potentially make a month. That would be a monthly seller in Pakistan, I guess. So far, price closing weak, price staying very weak. So that is a pity here. Let's see what the Nasdaq is doing here. So no chance, no trade setup right now. So Nasdaq is pretty weak as well, as expected with the divergence. We had the divergence on the hourly here. And here we had a higher high in the S&P and a lower high in the Nasdaq, which confirms that this is not a, which confirms in the S&P that this is not a higher, not a breakout here, but a reversal setup, which we saw, which is nice. And so far, also in the Nasdaq, I feel like we have still downside potential because we have this price run here, and I think we can see 19,174 in the Nasdaq as a target, downside target. And I can see in the here in the S&P as a downside target. Looks a little bit too busy, the chart. S&P I can see around 517. So that's what I think we could see, and we can potentially trade. if we get a good setup here. So far, I don't see the setup here. Let me actually check what dollar index is doing today. Dollar index again up today, sending indices down. So at least the market is in line. And it's a pity that we don't get a retracement here on the S&P for a short. But we will see if I can find some trades still here. Let's see. So far, just dropping. And we are just dropping, and we have the next low being hit. So we had like all the lows, the morning 9:30 low, the morning low from today, Wednesday's July low, and Wednesday's morning 31st July 9 a.m. low being hit. But not a real trade setup here. Let's see if we can find something here. Next sell side liquidity was being taken here. And I believe that we can see this sell side here being hit as well at some point. Huge down day already, so already 70 handles from the high of the day. And we now hit this bullish order block, so we are in a huge we are in a discount already. We have to be careful considering shorts right now. I wish we would have gotten a nice setup before we went so low here. Sometimes the market just doesn't give you what you want. It would be so nice if we would have had a retracement here, up, and then a movement lower. We would be able to participate in. However, we have the macro window just started now. We have 10:50, so we have a 20-minute window of opportunity. And let's see if we get some trade setup. That will be the last opportunities I will be seeking after 2 trades already today. And we will see. So far it just looks bearish. %, almost hit. So that would be my target below here, the liquidity here. 515, if that's reached, then I won't look for further downside targets here. Then I will stop looking for shorts for this session. Looks like we don't get any today anymore. Already had enough nice downside opportunities here. And so far price just looks weak. And we maybe get the 50% level being hit here without the nice trade entry. However, we can see maybe we get the reversal setup. Or not. So far, no indications of a reversal at all. Also, the price action is very efficient here. A lot of small little candles, not too many gaps. So that's not ideal for retracement setups. Short. Now we get a little bit of a retracement here, and we can see that this is the old daily fair value gap here, the shaded area. So we have already reached the midpoint here. And so far we see a little reaction of that. In hindsight, we could have held it a little bit longer for the short here. Was maybe a little bit too early to get down, but that's how it is sometimes. Sometimes you get out too you pull out too early. And today it was. Sometimes you put the stop wrong. Sometimes you close too early. Sometimes you're just wrong. Today we had a pretty good analysis. And all our bias and expectations got basically fulfilled. However, not too many trade entries. This here would have been another one, but I'm actually happy with the one here at the bullish order block. Sorry, here. I'm happy with the entry here. Let's see, we're already 5 minutes in the macro window. And so far it looks like we're just going lower. And at least we're ending the day with a plus. Not much, but still. We have a market structure shift here as well on the 1 hour chart. So fair value gaps above here are also interesting in my opinion. Okay, here. Let's see if we get a market structure shift here for a retracement. Setup entry. So far we have a fair value gap here. So let's draw that out here. That's of interest, in my opinion. And no market structure shift yet on the 1 minute. So far it looks still weak. Still looks like it wants to go lower without any retracement. Entry setup here. So far, no real setup, no retracement at all. So let's see. Didn't even hit the fair value gap here and expands lower, probably to our 50% level here. And let me again remind you that if you like the stream, if you like what I'm doing here with the live trade executions, with the analysis, please be so kind, hit subscribe to the channel. That would be really motivation and help. Like the video and also follow us on X, where we post updates and the links to the live sessions. That would be really cool and a motivation to keep these daily live sessions going, and I think can be valuable for every trader who is doing the indices. And we are very close to the sell side liquidity here, and let's check out the Nasdaq real quick. The Nasdaq is as well, I think, very close to the 50% level. Yes, so 17. So I think 19,200s are absolutely possible in the Nasdaq. That's what I'm calling. And in the S&P, we are almost there. We have our expansion lower. And for the S&P, I'm calling the sell side liquidity at 5,515. So I will stay with you until the target is hit, which will be most likely be very soon, and then I will close the stream. Really nice volatility these days in the markets, really, really nice. A lot of movement almost every day. And you actually don't need much. 5 to 10 handles is enough to make a living, in my opinion. And our target will be hit very soon. Almost there. Almost there. Unfortunately, not another good trade entry in my opinion. Otherwise, we could have participated on that move down. However, nice tape read and nice target hit so far. And we're almost there. 11 o'clock macro window sends us down to the 50% level, and we are almost there. And once we hit the line here, I will close the stream for today, and I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, non-farm payroll Friday, so if you like to be part of the non-farm payroll Friday live stream, stop by. I will give you my opinion, my thoughts, and my analysis. Nice. So here we go. We got all our targets hit. Target hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the bias was absolutely right today, which is really nice to see. I'm happy that I could call it live in front of you. And also, we had at least a slightly profitable day today, which is good. Again, our two trades here, one stop out and one target hit with a about $200 gain here. And yeah, I will close the session for now with that target hit. Nothing I'm going to take a trade on in this morning session anymore. I hope you liked the analysis, the content. I hope you could get something out of this, and I hope you like the trade examples as well. If you did so, be so kind and subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, a thumbs up. That would be really a motivation and help to grow the channel and to continue doing. And we can keep in touch on X as well if you like, where I post the links. So I wish you a great afternoon and see you tomorrow if you like with Non-Farm Payroll Friday. Bye bye.